Hello everybody, welcome back to our next episode of A Quest of the Haunted. So, as we hit the Tuesday reset, we got a whole new week of things yet to come. And it all starts, as it always does, meeting with Eris at the Crown of Sorrow.
We stand at the precipice of victory. There is but one final link that remains between Callus and the Pyramid, and we are ready to strike at it. Caital has been brought into our ritual bond. She is now prepared to confront the nightmare of Ghaul and undo her father's work. However, by my estimates, Callus has already infiltrated the paracausal matrix of the lunar pyramid. The dark below groans and churns with excitement at this revelation. Emanations from the lunar pyramid whisper a singular psychic demand to all who can perceive it. Rejoice. Callus is overconfident, and we must take advantage. Go, return to the Leviathan and prepare.
We stand at the precipice of victory. There is but one final link that remains between Callus and the Pyramid, and we are ready to strike at it. Eris bound Caital to the Crown of Sorrows and gave the Empress as much of an edge as possible in her impending confrontation with Ghaul. However, Eris warns, by my estimates, Callus has already infiltrated the paracausal matrix of the lunar pyramid. The dark below groans and churns with excitement at this revelation. Emanations from the lunar pyramid whisper a singular psychic demand to all who can perceive it. Rejoice. Eris urges you to go and gather the necessary energy to complete the final ritual of Severance before Callus can wrest control of the pyramid. Now, here's one thing that I will say that I love when it comes to the writing of Eris Morn. I love how poetic they make her. Like, just her writing is so phenomenal. So, second verse, same as the first. I'm going to go ahead and hit that seasonal activity, and then I will see you momentarily at the beginning of the new 7 mission. Or if anything should come in between. Alright, everybody, we're back with Severance.
Drop pod breach successful. The ship has turned rancid. The Leviathan's transformation is a spreading miasma. When we stop here, take the engines, Guardian. I ascend another path, but I will see this through with you.
Come to challenge me again. The beaten always do.
So, this is really cool. She's a lot more accepting of our presence here now. And I actually want to see if I can go ahead and start doing this now. Hang on. Okay, well, it's a good thing I didn't have to die. I haven't really done any kind of damage with anything other than a stasis weapon and an arc weapon. So now I just need... Well, I could use a stasis rocket launcher if I want. Yeah, I'll use that one. It's Vorpal. It's a good roll. So we'll go with that. Because there is a triumph for doing this with arc only. Arc and stasis weapons only. And I want to see if we can go ahead and do that. I know I started off with something different, but I never used any of my class abilities just yet. So let's see if we can still do that. Boom. Okay, is that everybody? Is everybody up here? Geronimo!
We lifted the cabal from Callus's stagnation. Now one myth has missed the world's lost, not added. They speak of what once was, and no longer of what could be. Is this the new Cabal you envisioned?
We've both human scribes conjuring purpose for us. Futures that never came to pass. Theirs is the buzzing of insects caught in turbulent winds. When the wind shifts, so will they.
Caital's also kinda... There's a lot more poetic writing in this one now. It's like... I really like it whenever they go poetic in their writing. Like... Destiny's sometimes a little hit or miss when it comes to their writing. But the sheer, like, eloquence and poetry of Caital and... Caital and Eris is honestly really great. I like it. Caital, Eris, and Callus. Callus is very poetic in his...
Plant your amplifier and do not linger in the spores longer than you must. The interference has returned, more complex than before. Something language adjacent, but familiar. A translation of a translation.
We got one automaton and one bobblehead left. Oh, speaking of.
Unfortunately, this duality we are partners in is short-lived. Soon, I will grow beyond such small ideas as conflict. Until then, I will savor our time together.
Find and listen to each of the Callus automatons. Now there's only one left to hunt for, and that is the bobblehead. Once we find the bobblehead, we'll have found everything. Oh, hi.
Alignment was poor.
Guardian.
Caital, dispatch this light spawn and send its head back to the city.
Silence! You are a weak imitation of the Ghaul I knew.
I am limited only by your weak imagination.
I will find you at the end.
You stand with the Traveler's puppet? Against me? You have grown fat from weakness, drunk on their patronage.
You demanded I rule in your shadow. With the Vanguard, I stand equal. The Cabal stand equal.
The Cabal will die alongside them. A desperate ember fading against the dark.
Just because you can't imagine a future beyond yourself, Dominus, doesn't mean there isn't one.
Alright, here we go. I'm gonna try and do the same thing we did. Exits to remain sealed while containment's present. Manual override required. Unseal Immolation Hall.
The interference is a voice. I've heard it whispered through the tree of silver wings on Io and beneath the ice of Europa. But it does not speak to us. This connection must be severed.
The Tree of Silver Wings. That was the seasonal artifact from the season of Arrivals, whenever the pyramids first showed up in our galaxy again. Hey, big guy! That was disappointing. Okay. That's right, follow the birdie. Follow the birdie who doesn't have Icarus Dash anymore. And come back through here, that's right. See, notice how he slows down automatically as soon as he gets in here. Ignite! And now let's watch him burn. Bye! Now let's look around for that bobblehead. Alright, no luck in here.
Stand turbines offline. The final severance awaits. With Caital bound to the crown. Together, we cannot fail.
They are using the Cabal. Using you. The Empire is cattle flesh between the city and their enemies. They will let every last one of us die to save themselves.
They have proven otherwise. I do not fear our enemies. The light is at our back, and we are the Cabal. We eat the mountains. We drink the seas. Let them come.
I wonder how many times we're gonna get quotes of Caital saying, "We eat the mountains. We drink the seas." Stab! This is a much heavier firefight than last time. There's a lot more scorn here, too. Oh, I hear it. I was surprised last time when they didn't have the bobblehead in one of these little corridors. I knew it. I knew it. Now, here we go.
Get on with it.
You were never able to best me, Caital. That's why I left you to hold my throne.
I was fighting with weapons you gave me. Now, I wield my own.
I like that sword. I don't know if she's had that before. Just gonna soak this up a hot minute. Hang on, hang on. Thank you.
Dreadful blade manifests from
Now we can't use that because it's just like the last challenge. Oh no, they wanted us to do rage with all. They wanted us to do rage, not reconcile with all static. So this really just causes nothing. However, the super is still fun. I really don't need Well of Radiance in this boss fight at the current moment. lot of people here. However, that does mean, because I'm supposed to be doing rage, not reconcile with all this, that does, however, mean I can use the scythe. Come here!
From the harvester.
He's using the warlock arc? I could have sworn. Oh, wait a minute. That's the thing. Hang on. I thought he would be using. I could have sworn he would have used Code of the Missile. And he would have used Thunder Crash, but he doesn't have access to that because he doesn't have access to the middle tiers. Because Ghaul stole the light back when we still only had 2 supers per class. Speaking of middle tree supers, there we go.
You are nothing more than a child playing Empress. You lack my drive and your father's vision.
The old ways are dead, Dominus. I forged a new cabal in my image. It does not require your approval.
There we go.
I see, Caital. I see your new cabal pulled from the jaws of extinction. You have surpassed me. I attempted to subdue the light and burn for it. But you wield it on your war council. What conquest is more deserving?
You still don't understand. It wasn't conquest. It was compromise. An act your traditions never would have allowed.
You have finally grown beyond the prescriptions of your idols. Despite my legend, Ghaul is flesh. His words are only words, like yours.
There is a difference. Mine are better.
I don't know if I like
Was
that.
it then? If Deadman and Sanctimony are all Callus has to threaten me, he might as well turn the Leviathan around and run.
I don't know if I liked that line. There's a difference, mine or better. I feel like there's better ways she could have worded that. Alright, now, what's next? A private transmission is waiting for you at the helm. Well, let's go see what it is.
It is strange. What we are to those around us, and what we are not. The Dominus was a hero to my people. Self-made and defiant. He inspired many. But the Leviathan's trickeries allowed me to see Ghaul as the Vanguard did. Dangerous. Relentless. Cruel. Those were qualities I embodied to survive Callus's interpretation of fatherhood. They kindled in me a stifling reliance on self, on action, and nothing else. Most of all, Cabal wished to be seen. Our conquests recognized and ratified by the shockwaves they send through the Empire. The impact we leave. But an endless war in pursuit of glory leaves only ashes. When I am gone, it won't be the impact of my conquests that shape the Empire. Instead, it will be the quiet of peace in the company of allies. Well fought, Guardian.
Victory! Caital has conquered the nightmare of Ghaul, changing it into a benign memory. She reflects on this success with pride. Most of all, Cabal wish to be seen, our conquests recognized and ratified by the shockwaves they send through the Empire. The impact they leave, she says. But an endless war in pursuit of glory leaves only ashes. With firm conviction in her voice, Caital adds, when I am gone, it won't be the impact of my conquests that shape the Empire. Instead, it will be the quiet of peace in the company of allies. In her victory, Caital has found peace and purpose. It is time to debrief on the larger situation with Eris. Well, let's go do that now.
Victory sits before us, and yet it feels strangely hollow. We have severed what should be the final connection to the pyramid, and yet there is no reaction from the Leviathan, no reaction from Callus, and the lunar pyramid's psychic emanations are quiet. I cannot help but feel as though we have not weathered the storm, but merely stepped into its eye. The nightmares contained within the crown of sorrow are seething. Something is coming, Guardian, and we are not prepared. I would ask that you return to the Leviathan, continue to imprison the nightmares aboard it, while I attempt to ascertain what has changed.
Victory sits before us, and yet it feels strangely hollow. There is no joy in Eris's words. I cannot help but feel as though we have not weathered the storm, but merely stepped into its eye. The nightmares contained within the crown of sorrow are seething,
Eris says, her voice taking on a hopeless, lost quality. She has seen no reaction from the Leviathan, the Pyramid, or Callus. Even though the connection is severed, something is happening. Something overlooked. Something is coming, Guardian, and we are not prepared. Do your best to contain the nightmares and the Leviathan while the Vanguard assesses the situation. I need that now because I really want to try and get it to where I can make my own Austringer. I want to make my own Austringer, and I feel like that's really going to help out. I might do it with Tears of that one.
Eris told me what happened. How are you?
Tired and old.
But do you feel like a legend, Caital?
I will break you in half, small man.
I can't imagine it was easy. That confrontation after all this time. Mine wasn't.
You are not mistaken. I know what Ghaul is to your people. A symbol of death, ruthless ambition. But he was so much more than that to me. He was an idol, an inspiration to all Cabal. Even though he was born to a low station, he rose. How he rose. I was blinded by the light of his accomplishments. Unable to see the man inside. Unable to see his self-aggrandizing corruption. I refused to believe he was as much like my father as he was. It repulses me how much I still feel for them both. In spite of everything they became.
It's hard to challenge your idols. Even harder to make the decision that you'll be different. But then you look back on your life, your own mistakes, and you wonder how you'll be judged when all is said and done. never know Ghaul as you did there. But I know you, Caital. I see you.
That is all anyone can ask for. To be seen as they are.
That was good. That was good. God, some of the character development that's happened this season is great. Now, I want to check something because I think there's one more mission left. Now all I have to do is bind nightmares after completing tier 3s and unlock all the upgrades. We're almost there, guys. We're almost to that Reaper title. Unlock all the upgrades and bind the nightmares and complete the one last mission and we're done. That's it. Alright, guys. Let's make sure there's nothing else we have left to do. Eris will contact you. We got one mission left. Well, guys, that's it. That's all we have left for today. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun, guys, if I can be real for a second. Like, this isn't my favorite season. I think that one goes to, like, story-wise, I think that one goes to Season of the Splicer. That one had by far the best story. But the feel of this season, the dark kind of gothic sense with the fire and the ambiance and the character development that has happened this season has been phenomenal. We got one last mission to wrap it all up. I'm so excited and I can't wait to see you there next week. Listen,